Well, here I am again in Hollywood with Tony Moore.
Hello, sir.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good to catch up with you. And of course, Lounging with Tony.
Yes.
I love that. Now tell me where that creativity came from originally.
Well, Lounging with Tony is a web show that I host.
Yes.
And it's basically a very cool, casual interview with people. I'm from the South.
Right.
So in the South, we have a very easy breeziness about us.
So you lounge a lot.
Exactly. So I thought lounging would be the perfect way to describe this interview. So yeah.
And so how do you go about attracting people to interview them?
Well, luckily here in LA, when you know someone who knows someone, that's definitely a great way to get someone. I also go through, publicists and managers and cross my fingers and hope that they will get back to me. And so far I've had, pretty good success. I've interviewed people such as Wayne Brady, Raven Simone, some people from Days of Our Lives. I know they have Days of Our Lives in Australia.
Yes, we do. Yeah, big fans.
Some of the stars of Days of Our Lives have been on. And anyone that's related to pop culture has been on the show. Abby Lee Miller, whom I know that you interviewed as well.
Abby Lee.
Yes, gotta love Abby Lee Miller. So it's just a fun interview where people can kind of get to know these celebrities in a different way.
Okay. Yeah. Now you mentioned Abby, and you were in Australia not that long ago.
Yeah.
And you were hosting there and did a great job of all the shows, because it's a hard gig to come in. You don't know. How did you find Australian audiences? Like, were you a bit apprehensive? Like, will they laugh? Will they be responsive?
You never know going into any type of new venue how the crowd will be.
Yep.
But I found that Australians are very respectful, but they're also very excited. So the girls were very excited to meet Abby, to meet Maddie and Kendall and Kalani and Mackenzie. Did I name everyone that was there? Yes.
You did.
So they were all just very excited. Yeah. And they love their technology because all of them had their phones and were videotaping everything. So it was fun. It was always fun to go out there and just interact with them.
It's interesting you say that, because at one point in Adelaide at the Norwood Concert Hall, I looked with all these 1,000 people, and everyone's sitting there with their phone up or their iPad, and I was just like, wow, welcome to the new world.
Yeah, and the whole point of that particular, it was the girl party that they had, and we wanted them to interact with the girls and have fun and just be, girls and take selfies and stuff. But as soon as I stepped out, all I saw was, and I was like, oh boy, technology driven. Like, I suddenly felt old, because I was like, back in my day.
And you're only young. How do you think I feel? I mean, but the thing that amazes me as well is you've got somebody in front of you, like you might have Maddie Ziegler or somebody in front of you. Yeah. But people are not talking. They're putting an iPhone in their face.
Exactly.
Which seems to me just such a contradiction. Yeah.
It's our safety net now. I think so many people use technology as a safety net. When you are in situations that are unfamiliar, that's very familiar, so you tend to do this.
Yes.
So, I don't know.
And it's recording it, isn't it? Because now everybody is intent on, I've got to have a record of this.
Yes.
Because if I lose it, I can't prove it to other people.
Exactly.
If I were there. Yeah. Whereas in the old days I remember going to see ABBA, I think I had a photo that I could show people, and I had to wait a week till the photo was developed. Yeah. I couldn't just email it to people or put it up on Facebook. So unbelievable. Now I wanted to talk to you about Afterbuzz TV, or Afterbuzz. Yes. I'm calling it Afterbuzz, which I absolutely love. I love the concept. Yeah. Tell us a little bit more about how you got involved, what your contribution is, etc.
Of course. So Afterbuzz TV was founded by filmmaker Kevin Undergaro and host Maria Menounos. Yeah. And they started this online network where people can come and see people talk about their favorite shows. Right. And it has since evolved. We now have different other outlets where people talk about movies or anything like that. How I became involved was I was a huge fan of Dance Moms. And a friend of mine did the recap for Dance Moms. And so he asked me to be a guest host.
Okay.
And I said, sure, you know, why not? I'll go on and talk about Dance Moms. And then from there, I just became a permanent host on there.
Oh, wow.
Recapping Dance Moms and talking about Dance Moms. And from there, I started doing other shows and recapping other shows as well. So it's fun. It's a fun outlet to really interact with people who enjoy the same show that you do.
I know.
Yeah.
And I saw online they've got like 200,000 subscribers.
Yes.
That is insane.
Lots of subscribers, lots of weekly downloads. I think they're up to like 30 million downloads.
Oh my Lord.
A week. Yeah. So, and there's, I mean,
So you're more famous than you really know.
No.
Oh, you know how famous you are?
I know exactly how famous I can add maybe one more person that knows me besides my mom.
I'm sure there are plenty out there that know you, Tony. And now you're going to Australia. Will you be travelling around with Abby and the girls in the future, or you don't know?
I'm hoping so. You know, Abby has left that door open to hopefully travel around with her to some of her other events. I really wanted to do a great job for her in Australia.
Yeah.
And she was very happy with how I hosted her events and how I kept the crowds moving and going and everything. So who knows? I'm just waiting for her to give me a call and say, we need you. And I go, I already got my backpack. I'm always ready.
Now, I'm going to share with people, I don't know whether they know this or not, but I know you're A, an Ellen fan, and B, I heard a story, in fact I saw on Ellen Tube, that there you were dancing on her show. I'm like, how does that happen? Tell us, come on.
Funny story. I got tickets to the Ellen show.
Okay.
And they were standby tickets originally. And
which means you're waiting in line or in another room.
Well, it means that you may or may not get a chance to go into the live studio audience.
Right, okay.
But if you don't make it to the live studio audience, you pick a date and you're guaranteed back to another taping.
Like a callback, sort of.
Exactly. Yeah. And so my roommates and I were in the riff-raff room, as they call it. And you know,
is that the title of the room?
That is the title of the room.
Okay.
Yes, the riff-raff room. And so you know, they had music on, and my roommates, you know, were dancing because they're dancers.
Okay.
And
as you do.
Yes, and I wanted to join in, but I just felt so awkward because they're so good. So I just kind of bobbed next to them. And so the show started, and so we started watching the show on the monitor, and Ellen comes on and says, you know, we have people in our riff-raff room that can't make it onto the show, but we saw some really talented dancers. Take a look. And there's a clip of my roommates dancing. And so she's like, you know what, you guys are so good, we're gonna bring all of you into the studio audience.
Seriously?
Yeah, so she brought both of my roommates and I into the studio audience.
Oh, wow.
She set up chairs for us, and it was so nice, and they kept encouraging them to dance during commercials.
Yeah.
Well, I let them do that, but then if you were in Australia, you know my favorite song is Beyonce's Single Ladies, and I know the routine. Yes,
you do
know the routine from top to bottom. And the song played, and my roommate looked at me and he said, you have to do it. So of course I did it, and Ellen's face was just like, and I remember Chris Pratt sitting there with her, and he was just like, and so it was just a moment, and it was really great. And at the end of the show, she was like, you guys are so great and such phenomenal dancers, and you knew all the choreography to Beyonce Single Ladies. I'm putting your videos up on Ellen Tube. And so now it's on Ellen Tube for all to see.
So, but you are a good mover.
I can pick up a few moves here and there.
A few. He's great. I saw
Thank you.
all those moves, had everyone strutting.
Well, I was waiting for you to get up there and show us a move or two.
I would actually love to go and be in the audience of Ellen, but I hear it's pretty hard to get tickets.
If you want to get tickets, you have to do it like a couple of months in advance.
Right.
Yeah, but it's pretty simple though. You just go online and click and.
Whenever I come to LA, she's always in hiatus.
Yeah, she is. She is on hiatus during the summer.
Everyone in Hollywood is on the hiatus when I'm here.
Yes, summertime is kind of a hiatus for LA, but there's still things like still working and filming and stuff.
You come across as a very positive person. But I would imagine in this town, you know, it's hard.
It is.
Everybody is here, and there are lots of opportunities, but everybody wants those opportunities. Mm-hmm. So how do you remain optimistic and focus on the goals you want and not get caught up into pessimism or I'm not, you know, the negative self-talk that people can do?
Yeah.
Tell us, how do you do it?
For me, I keep positive people around me.
Right.
You know, this industry is very tough, and you're going to hear a lot of no's before you hear yeses.
Yeah.
I think you have to be a very confident person, and you have to know that...
Like outwardly or inwardly?
Inwardly, outwardly, because you have to know that sometimes when you go into an audition and you've done your best, and you didn't book it, it may not be you. There are so many different factors that go into an audition that you are not aware of, and it may have nothing to do with what you did, you know, in that room. But you win if you walk into the room, felt like you did a great job, and that you showed the casting directors what you can do, and you can walk out thinking, I've accomplished that goal. I'm gonna not think about it anymore, and if I book it, great. If not, it's okay, because there's something else around the corner. So you have to keep this, you have to keep positive people around you. You have to remain confident, and you have to realize that in this industry, today, I could sit here and feel very bad and very down about the fact that I'm not doing this, that, and the other. Tomorrow, I could get a phone call that could change everything, you know? So you have to just remain optimistic that what you're working towards, you're gonna eventually get.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think part of what you're talking about, which I don't know if we relate to that well in Australia, is that, of course, that American dream.
Yes.
And we've seen it repeatedly of people that are unknown, they've been striving for years, they get picked up, and their fortune and their life is just turned totally around, 360 degrees, upside down, whatever. But of course we know there are millions of other people out there that never happens to, but we focus on those that does. So that must also make it hard as well, because there's always that hope, but then you're dealing with the reality of what is happening day to day, aren't you?
Yeah. So a little piece of advice that the late Joan Rivers said one time, she said, you have to run your own race. You have to worry about only you and what it is that you're seeking and what you're going after. You can't worry about everyone else. So, you know, run your own race. And eventually, hopefully, you will see, you know, and reach the goal that you're trying to reach.
Because people may not know, but you worked in casting for many years.
I did.
Before this year, you've kind of having a bit of a do what you really want to do.
Exactly.
How did you find all that casting world? Was that pretty cutthroat, full on, or?
Well, the type of casting that I did were all extras or background casting.
Okay.
And even
this is for TV.
Yes, for TV, film,
everything.
Sometimes commercials.
Okay. All right.
And what you realize is that, you know, depending on the show, the producers and directors and people have a certain look that they're going for.
Sure.
And your job is to pick those people in the background to make sure that that look goes, or the vision comes to life that they're looking for. Exactly. Many people think that, oh, you know, anyone can, you know, do background work, and they can, and it's a great jumping off point even for someone who is looking to get into this industry. You're on set, you can see how things work, you can see, you know, camera angles and how directors direct people and actors and things like that. It's a great learning experience. But picking those people in the back are just as important as the people in the front.
Sure.
So I definitely learned, you know, what that form of casting entails, and the different things that, oh, we're going to take this person and not this person. So being in that world definitely did open my eyes to the casting world, which is why I feel like I understand when I may not get that call back or get that booking. I know why, because there's so many different factors that went into that.
So finally, Tony, what are the little tidbits or gossip? What's going to happen in the future? What are your plans?
Well, I'm always working and creating. I love creating new stuff. So there's a couple of things that I'm currently, you know, in the works.
He's not going to say.
I know. That's such the LA way, right?
Exactly.
That is the LA way of doing things. You kind of tease it just a little bit without saying exactly what it is. But there's some stuff.
But would they be hosting, or you're not? You want to go outside of that as well?
There is a hosting thing that I'm working on, and then there is also a scripted thing that I'm working on.
Right.
So
you write?
Yeah.
You're a writer?
Well, I don't write.
Oh, you would get people to write it?
Yes. I have a friend of mine that I'm working with, and I'm more of a person that I can see the story, but I can't write it. So it's always good to collaborate with.
So you kind of create, conceptualize ideas and things as well.
Yeah.
Got a bit of background noise here, but that's okay. Well, it's been great catching up with you.
Thank you so
really
much.
Good.
I appreciate it.
Catching up. I saw Tony in Adelaide, Australia. Wonderful, wonderful man. Like
Thank
people
you.
just attracted to him with his energy and everything, and said, "I'm going to catch up in LA." And I have.
We did. We made it happen.
I know. I'm so excited. So thank you so much for your time.
No problem. Thank you. Thank you for having me. I always feel very honored when people have me on their show.
Isn't he wonderful?
I appreciate that.
Yeah. No. Well, what goes around comes around.
Yes. That's very true.
Okay. Well, we will catch you again when we're next in Hollywood and hear the next installment of what you're up to.
Hopefully more will have been developed.
Thank you.
Thank you.